Hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Orphex C Sharp New. I was just going to say New Horizons there, but Uncut Let's Play series. In today's episode, we're going to continue where we last left off. It's currently the year 2177, the 16th of October. We had engaged our first enemies in naval combat in the last episode, and we are planning to return to those systems with a much beefier fleet that will be able to handle these intrepid forces. Other than that, I do want to say a few things about the channel. First off, memberships are now up, so if you guys do want to support, it is now available for you guys to do so. Hit the join button, and then you can join through there. It's completely optional, but it does really help out because Aurora, as I said, is quite a niche game, and I want to make this stuff consistently, and to do that, I'm gonna need some help with it. And we got some great comments as well. A few things. First off, I did the calculations incorrect for this. So let's say we have 16 fighters with size 4 missile launchers, right? So they've got 4 of them. That means they've got 72. So that means that one salvo, because they're size 4, that's going to mean one salvo is going to be 288 space. So that means I'll have 2 space. So I'm going to need, what is that, 2400 magazine space if I wanted 8 salvos. That's a lot. That is definitely a lot of space. So that's something to consider. And we're gonna need to actually do something about that. But before we do that, we're gonna open up Aurora Electrons, and we're gonna have a look and make sure that everything is looking good in terms of admins and all that good stuff. Okay, so let's have a look. So our main engineering done. Intruders, yep, I know that. Armor damaged ships, task group Alpha. Low maintenance ships, okay, good. We have some people without governors. Earth doesn't have a governor, that's kind of significant. And then we have a bunch of wrecks of various designs, which is unfortunate to say the least. Okay, we need to assign a governor. I'm going to put in a production governor because that's kind of the most important one. How is production? We are producing 3 more Kents, and I'm thinking maybe we should produce some more Corvettes. And I also want to think about actually getting some escort frigates. But yeah, let's add in some extra magazine spaces. So this is 2,000 tons, right? So realistically, we're gonna need, I don't know, 1,200, 5 salvos from the carrier, or we could then export that away from it. Let's do what this would save a significant amount, right? So if we did 6 armor and then we added another magazine in, if we added another magazine in, then that would actually work for us. 600. So yeah, that's 2 magazines. That gives us a capacity 1,200, which will allow us to fire. What would that be? For that, 5 salvos, including the ones loaded in the actual box launchers themselves. For 16 fighters, right? 16 times 4. Yeah, so we get 68. So around there if we want that many fighters. Okay. Well, I'm gonna rename this class, and I'm gonna rename it after. What'd be a good name? Let's have a look. Birds, no dogs, rivers, counties, Centauri ships, cities. I like the idea of carriers being named after like cities. That works. Yeah, we can do like the Birmingham class, the Blackpool class, the Boston class. I like that. Boston class carrier. Then we also have our strike fighter. The New South Wales is a bit strange for a for a fighter, but we're gonna rename that. We can do types of rivers, birds. We'll do birds. No, we already have a bird line, don't we? Animals. Then we'll call this the Aardvark class strike fighter. So this has its 4 box launchers, 2 normal size 1 box launchers, and then everything else that it needs. Pretty decent speed on it. I'm overall happy with that design, so I'm actually going to research a prototype for all of these things. Because I think that'll definitely work out for us. Then I have the carrier, of course. Now the only thing we need from it is the engine and the magazine right now, anyway. But there's other things that we could consider. We still need to wait on command and control components, definitely. So we'll have to wait for that one. Yeah. But one thing I do want to make is, do we have access to it yet? Commercial. No, we do not. I want to make a collier, for support reasons, and also probably a military tanker. Both of those are going to be important to me because I want a collier to be able to rearm and refuel, of course. But I also want the carrier to be able to have its own stores so that they can automatically reload and rearm from that. So there's a couple things I'm gonna want. I want the carrier to reload from the collier, and then I want the other stuff to work out. But yeah, this is getting expensive. Anyway, let's move on to actually doing stuff. We didn't do much increments last game. We found Lacal 9352. Nothing much important in this system. How is our research going at the moment? I haven't really been keeping up. Another thing that people are also talking about is obviously Galasite. We have to be a little bit careful of that because Galasite is going to be important for our missiles, and we don't have a lot of it. We have a lot of other resources. We have tons of corundum. We have tons of uranium and all this stuff, but Galasite is something that we don't really have access to. We have some Galasite on this world, but it's not in great quantities. On Rice, we have no Galasite located on the planet. So yeah, we have to be a little bit careful of that. We only have 500 mines on this world, by the way. And we're also producing infantry battalions on the planet. So we're in economy. I think looking good there. We're getting our salvage module, but I think we might have to delay that because I want a commercial magazine and commercial other stuff. Refueling hub, underway replenishment, maintenance support per facility, and a maintenance module. Nothing too important right now. What's on our main system? We're gonna get main engineering soon. That's good. One thing I do need to do though is have our shipyard start beginning repairs of our various vessels. We have a couple Essex classes that need assistance. I believe so. Anyway, we should do. Let's have a look at our task group Alpha. Only the Omicron Eridani needs repairs, as it did take significant armor damage in the last battle. Inactive research facility. I see that. Okay. Yeah, we have to get some commercial magazines at some point. I'm gonna just get a guy onto the launchers because they're very, very cheap to make. We are going to need to get the magazine designed and sorted out though forwards, and also the engine for the fighter. We're not really doing anything with power and propulsion, so I'm going to take away some laboratories here and assign those to a power and propulsion person. Your job is going to be to focus on getting that engine up and running forwards immediately, and then we can start building some fighters. Tug Group Beta has completed orders. I don't know exactly what they were doing. I think they were doing Cheshires. Yeah, I think they were doing Cheshires. I don't remember exactly. We still have the 3 of them orbiting Rice. So these tugs are actually quite disappointing for me. So I'm actually going to make a refit for these because they're nuclear pulse drives, and I want something a little bit higher kick, if you know what I mean. So we're gonna remove all these drives. We're gonna grab our new ion drive, and I'm going to just now maybe not a few hundred drives. Let's reduce that. No. Yeah. So how much is the other one before? So you have a total of 15 drives. So let's put in another these. There we go. So that gives a 64 billion kilometer range, but you go in, significantly faster with a lot more fuel. So what I might do is actually reduce the amount of engines. So as we can see here, to kind of fit, and that will instead give us a slower vessel, as we can see here, with less engine power, but well, around a bit more engine power than our last one, but it's going to have a 95 billion kilometer range compared to a 64.56 billion kilometer range, which is significant. But then that also comes into the question of the tonnage doesn't really match up, does it? Yeah, I might have to just go with the more drives, and yes, that'll give us lower fuel range, but obviously the extra engine power when tugging a ship will do us much, much better. So we're going to go with that, and we're going to call this the London B-class tug. And I'll get this refitted into our shipyards immediately. So tug, retool to the London B-class. And then I'm going to do a refit order. From a London to the London B class. So we're going to have the Pensacola sorted out. Everything else is looking decent. I would like to get some more tankers built, which I haven't really been thinking about here. We don't need this design anymore, so we can start refitting the Cardigan class to the Cardigan B class, which will remove its 3 normal engines and then give it 3 more powerful ion drives, which will increase the speed significantly, about 1,000 kilometers per second extra, which is overall very useful. And then we will make a shipyard that will be able to handle that. It's only 25,000, which is pretty light, so I'm actually going to add a slipway onto this one, but I'm going to retool it for this first. So let's construct a Cardigan B. And then I'm going to add a slipway. There we go. We can also start adding, I'm going to start adding slipways to these ones. Something else that I want to design is going to be a destroyer, but for a destroyer, I'm going to need access to the 20 centimeter railguns, and that's a whole other thing. So we'll have to wait on that for a little bit anyway. Complete research into main engineering. We're now doing research into fire control ratings. That's not that important for me right now. What is important is getting this carrier online as soon as we can. So to do that, we're going to need access to, first off, let's get the missile fire controls for our fighter. Then I want you to start researching the primary flight control unit, which is going to require quite a lot of research facilities. We are still producing a lot of research facilities. We can obviously produce more of them. If we have a look at our total expenditure, yeah, we have plenty of magnesium and uranium, so we can continue getting plenty. Okay, I think everything's looking fine now. We found more minerals. The Omicron Eridani was repaired. Oh yes, the Potsdam. Where is Potsdam? Find you. Tug group Alpha. Fuel. Refuel from this boy. 0 hours. Tug group has cycle orders. Tug group Alpha has completed orders. I'm not sure what I told Tug group Alpha to do, but there we go. Head over to Sol. Refuel. That'll take you 86 days. Then head over to Bernard Star, then head over to Ego and release the tracted ship. That'll take you 200 days. Should be fine. Okay, I think everything is looking pretty up and proper. We're just waiting on a few research components and things to be delivered. A lot of trade happening right now, which is really, really awesome. In terms of our mining situation, so we now have 12 million people on the naval outpost of Ego, which is looking great for us. We're slowly trying to increase the oxygen. It's going to take us quite a few years, decades and decades, to properly increase it. But hopefully, if we can get terraforming rate up, we should be okay there. Rice is still going good, and we're probably going to be moving even more mines to it. I mean, if we have a look here, it's producing 26,000 tons worth of resources: varanderite, thorium, corundium, corbamite, neutronium, and obviously uranium. So a lot of resources being milked out of that planet. Weird term to use for it, but you know, it works out for us. Okay. Promoted. Good. We complete research into a size 1 box launcher. Discovered a new jump point. 4 more infantry battalions were trained on Rice. Complete research into missile fire control. Gravitational survey of Lalonid 22185 has been completed. What ship did that? That was the Martin Frobisher. We will tell you to then go into Lacal and 22185. Oh yeah, that's kind of a weird one. How about Sirius? Viman Star. YZ SETI? YZ SETI GL, and then we can go to an exploration over there. See what we can find. Regimental headquarters was trained. Good. Completed research into ion drive. So now that means our strike fighter should now be. We should be able to build it now. We're just waiting on the size 4 box launchers and the other ones. Sensors and fire controls. Let's put that right into that one. Hopefully get that done as soon as we can. So Group Alpha has completed orders, finally, which now means that the Potsdam's back, and we also should have more terraformers above this world. Yeah, we have 40 terraformers now, which don't do a lot because this world's a lot bigger than Earth is, so we're not actually getting that much terraforming capacity out of it, and we're on 20% terraforming speed as well, which does not help. We got fuel production up to 56,000. Let's go and do that again. That should now mean that we're going to produce a lot more fuel if we check our Saturn fuel harvesters. We have 5 of these. They're now producing 12 million liters of fuel a year. Hopefully the scenario we had before will not happen again. Where is the Martin Frobisher? There we go. Make sure we resupply from Ego, and then we can head back over to YZ SETI, Gel here, and then go for an exploration. Another Cheshire has completed construction. Let's keep moving those back and forth. We have a lot of vessels here that we can move. I'll have Task Group Alpha or Tug Group Alpha just handle the moving. Head over to Earth. Yeah, head over to Earth, and I'll have you move all the Bavarias over to Saturn to start doing what you need to be doing. Car Group Alpha completed all this. Was that all the mines? I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I think we moved a lot of mines over from Earth. Speaking of mines, how many are still left on Earth? 283 of them. Okay. Well, let's load more. But this time I'm going to take these mines over to Bernard Star, and I'm going to unload them onto Ego to begin mining up that corundium. We're going to refuel. That means we can carry 10 at a time. So we're going to send over 4 mines. That'll take us 600 days, and then I'll detach a new freighter for that. 3 more Kents were complete. The Beta Tranquilli, Iota Piscium, and the Proxima Centauri. Very, very good. Let me order up even more of these vessels. And we also want to make sure our capacity is fine. I'll order up 3 more. I'm going to order up 3 Essex classes. We're going to use components, and we're going to construct 3 more of these vessels, and then they'll be done in 2179, which is in a year's time, which is good. Research facility production completed on Earth. Yeah, that's not acceptable. We need to keep producing those research facilities as much as we can. Going to produce 10 more at 75. And I'm going to reduce the other ones immediately. Because right now, research is the most important thing for our empire, because research is going to allow us to actually get what we need done. Okay, so Group Alpha is now at the proper jump point. We're going to go to fleets. We're going to make sure that we go over to the Bavaria. No, that's civilian. Why can't I target civilians? Well, there should be a Bavaria that I detached, or is it from Space Station 2? Yeah, it is. Okay, track to the shipping fleet, then go over to Saturn. The Saturn fuel harvesters release into that group, and then refuel from Colony, and then cycle those moves. Complete research into a missile fire control. We've begun research of a primary fire control. Okay, good. And we're going to try and get as much into that as possible. We have a 50% guy. Why are we using a 30% guy? Primary flight control. There we go. So now we get a 3x boost into that. We should. Oh, that's a damaging. What the hell? I guess this is our best person then. Huh. Okay, shipyards. That means that the strike fighter should now be able to be built. No, we're still waiting on that missile launcher. How long can that single missile launcher take? Apparently quite a bit. We'll have to wait less than a year for that one. We discovered a new system, nothing in it, so nothing of importance. So now we should have all those Bavarias been sent over to this system for the Saturn fuel harvesting. There we go. So now we're producing about 20 million liters of fuel. We can stop production here for our fuel reserves as we don't really need it. Okay, we have an active research facility. I'm going to put that into terraforming actually because I want to get my terraforming rate up as much as I can. Cardigan B class was built, which is obviously a new tanker. So that is good, and we can keep that around. And I'm going to start beginning refits of the other classes if they're naturally even in orbit. I don't think they are. From Cardigan to Cardigan B. Yeah, we got one of them, so we'll refit that class. Shipyard tasks going very well. We're refitting London to London B. The Pensacola Rice continues to get more mines. It's currently sitting at a production capacity of 27,000 tons, which is great. We complete research into box launchers, which now means that we can start production of our fighters. Okay, I'm going to begin. We're going to start with, I think, 32 fighters. And I'm going to dump those into a new fighter group. So I'm going to build 32 aardvarks. Now, we need the fusion-boosted reactor core, or fusion-boosted wellhead strength if we're actually going to develop the missiles we'll actually put on these things. Which we will need. We also need to design an anti-missile missile as well, or an anti-fighter missile, which is basically going to be the purpose of it. It's also a get-out-of-jail-free card if we get shot at with larger missiles. Kill capacity upgrade for Dali has been constructed. Good. We now have a 5,000 tons, so we can then retool this for the, what was it, the Flanders class. I believe it was the Flanders class. The Flanders class is a survey frigate. Design. I want to look at design. The problem is it comes up on the other screen. No, I want to look at ship design, please. Survey frigate. Okay, no, scout frigate. Flanders. Okay, I got the right class. Good. We'll need another one of these because we're going to actually need them for our fleet. So I'm going to build that straight into that group. And we're building a lot of ships, a lot of ships here. So hopefully it'll work out. Cardigan B was refitted. That's good to know. 3 more Essex classes were produced and constructed. I don't really see a reason to stop. Obviously, let's eat into our Gallicite reserves, but it's not that expensive for us to do. So I'm going to produce another 3, but we're going to go for the Kent class. So we get just alternating frigate constructions here. So our naval expansion right now is really exploding. If we have a look at what we have 3 frigates here. And then we have a lot more other stuff being produced. We have 3 more frigates that we can move in as well. So we're producing like 15,000 tons every year, which is generally pretty good in terms of total ship capacity. The London B class was now refitted for that design. The Paula Diaz needs to be sent somewhere. Let's have a look. Our galaxy is really getting big now. We've explored 30 systems and there's a lot of interconnects. Let's head you over to Sirius. We still need to know what's in there and what's happening. Besides that, we'll need to send the London B class, which is now was the Pensacola. We're going to send you over to Alpha Centauri, grab the Cheshire's Track 20 shipping fleet, head over to Sol, refuel, head over to Bernard Star, release the tractor ships to the ships in orbit, and then refuel from that colony, and then cycle moves. And hopefully that should work out for us. Pensacola. Go to Alpha Centauri. Can you cycle moves then? Yeah, there we go. Okay, continuing surveying, that's going good. We should start producing these fighters. How was our... Wait a second, I didn't realize how good our fighter production was. It's okay. We have how many fire factories? Let's have a look. Fighter 40. Yeah, we could probably be expanding that. So let's reduce the amount we need for that, and let's start building some fighter factories, because if we are going to build fighters, we're going to need a lot more. Let's immediately build 60 more of them. That shouldn't take too long. That should be done by the end of the year, hopefully. Okay. The Frobisher is now in Tower City. Head over to Omega City. Continue surveying there. This is the good thing about having naval outposts everywhere, is that we have the refueling capacity, so they don't have to come back to Earth for refueling. Of course, that does obviously affect our naval outposts if we have a look at their fuel amounts. So you have plenty of fuel. Akhtar's going to need some more fuel soon, and so is Ego. They're both getting pretty hammered with the amount of fuel they're using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to order the Cardigan B class to refuel from Earth, head straight over to Ego, where is it? Yeah, Bernard Star, and transfer fuel, and then return to Sol and refuel. Then I want you to go to Alpha Centauri, transfer fuel to Akhtar, and then head over to Sol, and then refuel. And what I'll do eventually is I'll set up like order delayed fuel tankers that will just go back and forth and provide fueling and stuff. The Artifact 7 has run out of fuel. Do we seriously not have fuel again? What the hell? There has to be something wrong with our fuel tanker that's transporting this fuel back and forth. There has to be. No way. Okay, inactive research facilities on rice. We can actually begin researching some other stuff. Orbital habitat module. Let's get some better terraforming. Maintenance module capacity. Oh, improved. Sector commands could definitely be useful, because sector commands could then add those extra bonuses to our construction capabilities and also to our mining. Okay, that'll be done in 5 years. Group Alpha has completed orders. Frobisher has discovered a new jump point. Group Alpha, you're going to need to attach one of your ships, and I'm going to put you into a mineral transport group. There we go. And I'm going to have you go to Bernard Star, load all minerals until full, then head back to Sol, and then unload all minerals until you're done. And also refuel, and then just cycle those moves. There we go. Bernard Star, Diego Silves. I'm going to have to redesign any ships at some point, because we're getting so far out there that we're really going to need it. Okay, the Diego Silves class, not this class, but you can go to Sirius as well and see if you can find anything. You just have to keep refining this fuel, I guess, because there just isn't enough on the actual planet. Anyway, we produce about 3 labs a year, which is actually going really, really well for us here. Our terraforming capacity has actually gone massively up. So I'm actually going to reduce that, and I'm going to... Yeah, we're going to reduce that. I'm just going to add that into our military and kinetics weapons. We are going to need some into actual power and propulsion, though, so I'm going to put 8 labs into that. I'm going to get you focused in on power modification as soon as we can. Okay, let's go to the new jump point. Has insufficient fuel. The USSS Pensacola. Lumen 6. Why the hell are you in Lumen 16? Of course you are. The Pensacola. The Pensacola always annoys me. Yeah, what can we do about that? We have a tanker orbiting Earth, but that's a transport tanker. Refuel from Earth, head over to Lumen, head over to this fleet, and then move to location, then we'll refuel that. Okay. Where is the group? I guess these things are just so big that's the problem, right? Is that yeah, the tankers are actually really big here. So we're gonna refuel the stationary tankers, then go to Bernard Star, then we'll release the thing over there, and then we're gonna have you refuel from Bernard Star. Due to a fuel shortage, cannot complete the orders of its parent. Cannot complete the orders of its parent fleet. What do you mean? Fleets refuel, my dude. Oh, he's not exactly on top. That is just annoying. Okay, he should be on top now. Refuel. What do you mean there's an orbital distance? God, sometimes I tell this dude, I tell him go over here and just move to location. Okay. You should easily just be able to do this. I don't see an issue. Okay, completed orders. Now, let's go over to group beta. Refuel. Okay. Then head over to Bernard Star. Release to one of these Cheshires, and then you're good. Cannot carry out primary orders. Does not sound systems last. Cycle to remove. Frobisher is now in Omega Ceti. Needs further orders. Go through the jump point. Okay, with the skill system of FL Virginis. Nothing habitable. Well, there's some habitable worlds. They're just not very habitable. Okay, missile, fusion boosted fission warhead has sorted itself out. So that means that we can actually start designing our missiles now. So let's bring it back up again. So I want a maximum speed missile. I want size 4. Give it a 40 million kilometer range with a 50% chance to hit 50. Like that. Let's input what we have. So missile agility 32, ion drive, fuel efficiency, engine boost max to 1.75. No feasible solution for set parameters. Let's go for 4. Okay, there we go. So now we got our missiles. So we need to go ahead and design this. I'm going to put that onto the side. And then I'm going to go over here and I'm going to start designing our missiles. So here we go. So I want an engine mod of 345%. I want an engine of, what does that say? 2.61. There we go. Fuel capacity of, what's the fuel MSP? 0.59. Warhead strength of, warhead MSP of 0.8, which gives us a warhead of 4. And that's it. It doesn't want any agility. So what the question is though, what would happen if we reduced that and then we added in, let's say, 0.9 agility or 0.09 agility? That would reduce the range quite significantly. So let's just go with 0.59. There we go. We're gonna call this the Mark 1 Striker class Striker anti-ship missile. So we'll create that. Then we'll go into the optimizer again. I want a size 1 missile that does 1 damage with a 9 million kilometer range with a desired hit chance against a 12,000 kilometer per second target. We can go with 15,000. We'll go with 16,000 because I think that's the upper echelon of where we'll be going towards. Desired range, minimum range, 9 million kilometers. We want a 50% hit against that, which is, I don't think, too achievable. What about a 10,000? Okay, what about an 8,000 kilometer per second? No, it doesn't seem that it likes the parameters of this. The problem is warhead strength, right? Is we can't have an AMM that's that. Because if one warhead strength per MSP is 0.5, then it needs 0.25 into an actual missile. Yeah, okay. 0.05. That gives us that, which isn't too impressive, personally. I mean, the engine boost are just 350% and just try and go as fast as possible. Target speed 5. I want target speed of like 2000, but that doesn't really work out for us at all. So I don't know. So it gives us 32,000 kilometers per second, which isn't that much faster, honestly, with a range of 9.49 billion kilometers. 32% chance to hit 10 kilometers per second, 6,400 kilometers. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure what else I can do here, realistically speaking, because yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm going to need better engine boost. I mean, let's have a look at like an engine boost of like 3, right? If we have an engine boost of 3, we have to go 42,000 kilometers per second, and if I give it a 50% chance to hit at this speed, it doesn't like it. So that's a problem, right? That is definitely a problem. So 25% chance to hit. That means that it'll intercept anything that's going like 20 kilometers per second, actually 1%, and then like so it's got like a 30% hit chance versus like a 16,000 kilometer per second ship. Okay, we're gonna forget about AMMs for now until we get engine boost up. I just don't think it's feasible yet for us. We also completed research into another ion drive. Let's start research into railguns. Let's get better railguns. That'll take us 3 years. So group has completed orders. Inactive research facility is on Earth. We're going to go for a ground combat person. We're going to have you focus on some heavy infantry armor. And then we're just going to keep advancing time. We've got some guys who are out of fuel, but I'm not too concerned about that because they're just being a bit of a fussy. I'll refuel them as soon as we need to. 3 more Kents, we just finished. How is that primary flight control coming? That's going to take us 7 years. Are you kidding me? I'm not waiting 7 years. I'm sorry. I'm not waiting 7 years for that. We might just be better off going with what we have and then just doing a refit later down the line. We can at least add main engineering, which will help. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to do what I want to be able to do. So that is a bit concerning. So I'm going to add then... We're going to research the engine and we're going to research the magazine. And then I'm going to add in fuel. Do I really want to add in fuel or maintenance? Yeah, let's add in some fuel to fill it up. That gives us a speed of 3,000 kilometers per second as well, by the way. Which is pretty decent. So we have a 40 billion kilometer range, 30,000 ton Boston class carrier. That gives us 18 fighters. Now they're going to be a bit handicapped, of course, by the range of our carrier, by the sensor capability, right? But I think for initial missions it will be okay. I do want to design a sensor fighter at some point which we can send, but I'm not really going to think about it for now. So yeah, we'll need those components sorted out there. And I'm also going to need to research that missile that I put in. So Mark 1 Striker anti-missile. So we're actually going to stop railguns. I'm going to get the missile first, and then we're going to go on to railguns. And then we can begin ordnance production of that. What is our ordnance capacity right now? 100 ordnance. Okay, that's okay. They're not that expensive, the missiles, so we should be able to produce plenty of them. Then, as soon as we have both the power and also the engine, I'm going to finish off. Yeah, we're gonna finish this off here. So let's add in the engine. Okay, that'll take us about a year and a half. And then we also need a magazine, of course. So let's add in the magazine. Let's remove that from queue. Need a magazine. Capacity 100. There we go. So hopefully that'll get done somewhat soon, and then we can deploy the carrier, take the entire fleet out. I'm going to leave the corvettes behind because I don't think we'll need them at that point. Complete research into our missile. Let's begin production of them. So let's do a production run of 300 missiles. That should be enough. Considering they're size 4, that should mean that we'll be able to store 300 of them on the fighter. That'll be done in 2181 at the end of the year. Science team has gone into production. I got fuel production rate up. Let's go for even more fuel production because I'm not. Actually, we could go for other things. Yeah, let's go for mining production. Actually, I'm pretty interested in that. Mainly stockpile. That's something that I think we're gonna need to sort out in a little bit. So I'm gonna start production of maintenance. How's our fuel stockpile actually doing? Not that good. In terms of that, how is our fuel coming from our fuel harvesters? We're producing 22 million liters of fuel now a year. You'd think that'd be enough. You'd think, realistically speaking, you would think that'd be enough. But I'm not sure if that will actually be enough. Okay, so now we're just waiting on research effectively, and then we're going to bring the fight, because I'm going to buy one of those carriers, and we're going to put another 2 into production for immediate usage. They're expensive as all hell, but they are going to fulfill the job I need them to fulfill. Alpha Centauri, let's head over to 101 SETI. Let's see if we can find anything there. Maintenance facility on the FOS Martin Frobisher. Frobisher, please tell me you're okay. You are not. Head straight back to Earth. Refuel, resupply, begin overhaul. Okay, and we complete research into our magazine. So now we're just waiting on the engine, which will be done by the end of the year. I'm going to put more labs into that, actually. Let's get all the labs into that as quickly as we can. So that'll be done in October of this year. Okay, the Martin Frobisher is unable to complete orders. I tell you to begin overhaul, I mean it. There we go. Diego Sills, I'm just going to make sure that we have no maintenance problems. Yeah, you need to resupply from the colony. Head out towards Sirius and then go through that jump point. Complete research into better terraforming rate, which is very nice because we're going to need it. Okay, we're getting even more terraforming rate out of this. Let's have a look on Ego. How is the terraforming situation going? Actually going pretty decent. We're getting our oxygen up a lot more here. We're doing 0.0025, which is significantly higher than we previously were doing. So that is something. We just completed that. So now that means that we can actually get one of these carriers. So we're going to name these after cities. These are going to be named after cities. Actually, because of how important they are, let's name these after planets. I think like planets would actually be best, right? So I'm going to give FRSS, select random name from theme. And I'm going to actually rename the Boston class, rename class to the Rice class carrier, and we're naming these our planets because they're just so important. I mean, they're incredibly valuable to us. So we're going to build one of them. Now, it's going to be 1/3 of our remaining build points. So I'm going to build a single one. There we go. And that will now mean that we should have that in the first task group, the carrier Rice over here. I'm going to rename the designation to FRSS, the FRSS Rice. There we go. And yeah, there it is. There is our carrier. Now the question is where's all my fighters? Okay, we have 16 of them hanging out over here. We're going to take 18 fighters. I'm going to refuel and load ordnance from Earth. Completed. Something else I forgot to do on the carrier is I'm going to need to assign the strike groups, right? So let's add in the Aardvarks. Good. And I also want to add in the striker ACMs or ASMs. So now that means that we should now have full maintenance supply. No. How much ordnance are we going to be able to actually make off that? Okay, yeah, we should have plenty of ordnance on the planet. Let me check my stockpiles. We got 232. Yeah. Load ordnance from the colony, please. Can they just not load? I guess they can't load, right? I mean, that might be a concern. Yeah, they probably can't load. Okay. Let me move all of these forces into this. So task group Alpha, you're gonna have the carrier. We're also going to move in frigates accordingly. Frigate escorts, frigate escort, and then just keep moving them into both of these different sections, and then we're gonna put in our survey frigate. Anything else I'm missing? We can bring in. What? Yeah, I don't think I'm missing anything else. Oh yeah, space station. There are some more frigates we can bring. So that'll be 5 escort frigates per, which is significant. I mean, the amount of actual ASM fireworks. Our fleet is now 132,000 tons. I am going to detach the Corvette group, and I'm going to just keep them here. I don't really want to bring them. But we're going to send our fighters over to the task force. So this will be task group Alpha. You're going to land and assign onto the mothership. There we go. Which will then fill us up with that. I'm going to create a subfleet, which will be the first Aardvark attack wing. Strike wing, since they are strike fighters. Okay, good. And then I'm going to assign all of all of these guys into that directly. So this is going to take a little bit. I should have done it the other way, and would have been faster. But it won't take that long. Just load them all on, and then we're going to go test them out. Because I want to take some revenge on those pesky precursors. Okay, good. So there we have 18 fighters now. Let's have a look at our fleet list. So those don't have ordnance yet. Let's load ordnance from colony. Okay, ordnance has been loaded. That should now mean that we should have ammo, and then they should start redistributing the ammunition to the aardvarks. They should, at least. They should reload automatically. They should not need an ordnance transfer thing. Might take a 5-day increment, so we'll wait on that. Power propulsion. Let's go for the next tech, I think. I think that's going to be the most important. Actually, no, the engine modifier. We're going to blitz that down. Yeah, the engine modifier is going to be most important, I think, for me. Let's do a 5-day increment. Yeah, 5-day increment. Task group Alpha. They're not reloading ordnance. That's very strange. Oh, I know why. I'm being stupid, aren't I? Yes, I am. I need to set the striker ASMs to actually be what that ordnance is going to be. So now, if we go a day, there we go. So they should all now have their ordnance loaded onto them. We have 1 carrier, the Rice class, 7 frigates of the Essex class, 10 Kent classes, a scout frigate, and 18 fighters. I'm now going to retool the shipyard for the Rice class, and we're going to begin construction. We're going to begin construction, and we're going to call this the FRSS Akhtar. Get that built. And let's get moving towards our destination. Go to Bernard Star, refuel once you're there. Then head over to Shrew 2398. There should be a fleet somewhere here. I don't remember, but there should be one. Cardigan 3, you're in the Alpha Centauri system. Cardigan B, you're in the Lumen system. Head over there. Refuel from the planet. Then head over to Shrew 2398 for resupply. Task Group Alpha, that'll take you 34 days. Okay. In the meantime, I'm going to make sure everything's set up correctly. So I'm going to auto-assign fire controls. And then we're going to assign system. Assign system, so they all have that. We're going to assign system, auto-assign fire controls, assign system, auto-assign fire control, and then assign system. There we go. So we have all of our weapons and stuff coordinated onto that. And now I'll just wait for them to arrive on the planet, or in the system. Insufficient crew on the Omicles or the... Yeah, I forgot we did pick up crew, didn't we? Head over to North Star, refuel, and then begin unloading survivors, and then you can head over to Shrew 298. That'll take 30 days, which is still quite a bit of time when you really think about it. Okay, they're on their way though. Automate mine construction complete on Earth. I don't remember when I ordered that, but that's good. Okay. The Cardigan B1 has appeared. Okay, Strike Group has appeared. Task Group Alpha. Task Group Alpha, you are going to need to refuel while we're here. So refuel from the tanker, and then I also want you to turn your active sensors on. Then you're going to head to the second planet, and we're going to test out a carrier. And this is going to be a long episode, but I want to get at least a first strike off here. We completed construction of ASMs. Start building more of them. 300, so that's what, 600? Yeah, so around 700 Galasite for 3 of these, which is pretty significant when you think about it. Okay, here we go. We're going 3,000 kilometers per second. Okay, so we are nearing the target. How is fuel capacity looking? Fuel is looking good. Okay. Active sensors are also on. We're going to take revenge once and for all. What is distance to target? 200 million kilometers. We want to close within about 100 million kilometer range. Okay, 100 million kilometer range is acceptable. We're going to get a little bit closer just so that if they have ECM, we can not be too concerned about that. So I'm going to go for about 90 million kilometer distance. Okay, we're about 90 million. Halt the fleet. Deploy the air wing. Okay, so the first Aardvark strike wing now ready. And I'm going to add a waypoint to, let's have a look here first. I need to have a look. 40 million kilometers. So we'll add it to about waypoint 14. I do want to make sure I'm in exactly the right range though. Let's have a look. I'm just screwing up all these waypoints. Delete. So from that to there, what is 40 million? There. Okay. Waypoint 15. Okay. Aardvarks, set over to waypoint 15. You have all of your ordnance ready and loaded. And we'll prepare to fire our first salvo at the enemy. Now, the one thing I do want to be a little bit careful of is obviously I don't want to overkill it, but we're going to do a single strike test. We're going to do a single strike test. Now, that's the only thing emitting sensor readings. So I have an idea. If we can possibly take out this one, it could theoretically mean that they wouldn't have any active sensor lock capability left. Okay, we are now in range of the target. First Aardvark strike wing. Begin deploying missiles. We're going to go for the Adroit class first. So this is going to be a salvo of 72 size 4 missiles being fired here. If this does not kill it, I will be extremely amazed. Also, that ECM is significantly affecting us, it seems, by about 7 million kilometers. So we are going to close a little bit more. If this does not kill our opponents, I am going to be very, very surprised. Okay, we are now 31 million kilometers away. We can open fire with all of our weapons. Going for the Adroit class. Assign to the fleet. Open fire control. Assign that to the fleet. And all missiles are now firing. Fire away. We're still waiting on missiles. Okay, all missiles are away. I repeat, all missiles are away. Let's head straight back to the task group, land on as subfleet, and get ourselves rearmed. In come the missiles. They are on their way. So we're going to do auto turns. So here they come. Striker ASMs. Now, they didn't all fire at once, which is kind of annoying, but they should still, I expect, an immediate destruction of that enemy ship. If the enemy ship does not explode, I'm going to have a significant problem. So they should start firing. Now, keep in mind, they're going to have AMMs. They're going to start firing them at our vessel, our stuff here. Oh, okay. So, first off, what happened? Oh my god, are you kidding me? They actually were able to handle that. Oh my god, are you kidding? They were somehow able to handle the point defense for that. What? They destroyed every single missile. Okay. Let's try that again. I mean, we're just using ammo here, right? This will be very disappointing if I can't beat these guys with a single strike group. So we're just gonna wait a few hours while we rearm and retool our vessel, our stuff. Okay, strike group should now be ready. Let's move them again away. Move them to waypoint 16. And then we're gonna have them move out. Oh yes, you have an active target. Yes, I forgot. Active target. Okay, they all fired. Striker ASMs are away. Did every single one of them fire at the same time? Looks like it. So they've gotten over their giddiness. Let's bring them straight back to the carrier. And we're just going to keep doing this. If this doesn't work, I'm going to stop. But yeah, land on the subfleet. Here we go. They're all in one big chunk now, which should hopefully assist our missiles in actually getting through. Okay, yes, we got through. We can get through them. But they were able to destroy 56 of them. Okay, we destroyed 11. Let's do it again. We are able to get through. We are able to actually get through. We only damaged the armor, though. 11 of our missiles got through and hit at strength 4. So, yeah, we're going to bring back our group. But now we can just keep sitting here and just bombing them. Now, we only have enough missiles for a couple more bombardments. And wait a few hours, and then rearm and reloaded. Yeah, so this is gonna be our last volley. I'm gonna hope this one works out for us. If it doesn't, well, screw it. But if my theory is correct and we destroy that ship and they don't have active sense lock, then they can't actually fire back at us. Okay, missiles are all away. Head straight back to the fleet. Head back to Task Group Alpha and land on assigned mothership. Okay, we got 9 hits on that one, and we still just damaged the armor. Bloody hell, they have a point defense capability, don't they? Huh. Well, there's not much I can do about that one. we're just gonna have to head home. We launched, what was that? We launched 3 strikes on them, so we launched like 260 plus missiles at them, which is a lot if you think about it. I should have waited for more missiles, to be honest, at dock, because we can break through them. We're actually getting hits. We just need to. It's gonna take a while. So yeah, we definitely we scored plenty of hits, but didn't work out. Anyway, we just hit the hour mark. I'm the end of the episode here. I hope you have a like. I hope you enjoyed the episode. Please like, comment, subscribe, even join as a member. That would really help out. And yeah, in the next episode, hopefully we'll be able to take out these precursors. So far, the Strike Wing, kind of a success, kind of not. Successful in that they're able to penetrate the point defense systems. Also, the principle has been working. Unsuccessful, and we haven't been able to destroy the ship that I want to destroy yet. I'll see you guys later. Spaceman checking out. Bye-bye, guys.